Good morning. These are my watermelon planted from seeds. Yeah, I have several of them. I just threw the seeds here after eating the watermelon, and they grew to be, well, I think in another couple weeks I'll be able to reap these. They're growing really, really fast. Watermelon. I love gardening. I feel my best when I'm in my yard planting flowers or planting vegetables, planting food. And being in my garden teach me a lot about life. Hanging out outside with the birds and the squirrels and the plants, fresh air, the huge trees. Look how big these trees are. These are pine trees. They teach me a lot about life. Jesus, I am a Bible believer. I mean, I don't take everything in the Bible literally. I do believe that most things in the Bible are symbolic. They have spiritual meaning. They're not literal. But Jesus always used nature to teach us lessons. He referred to the farmers and the seeds and things of nature, the flowers, to teach us so many lessons. And I learned a lot from just observing nature. Animals outside, human beings, we're nature also. But I think specifically the plants. And there are many references in the Bible to everything having a season. Now, I started I'm in Georgia, and I started eating watermelon very early in the summer. Very, very early summer. Probably late spring, from a gentleman locally who was selling them from his truck. And he told me that they were from Florida, that Georgia watermelon are not ready until fall, but Florida watermelon are ready in the spring and the summer season. So my watermelons, these will be ready. Today is August 23rd, so very soon my watermelons will be ready. Now, a lot of this backyard, I had different vegetables growing. I had callaloo, which is Jamaican spinach. I don't think it's just Jamaica. All over the Caribbean, they grow this thing. It's very, very healthy. I've told you about the callaloo before. So this is it. All summer, I've reaped callaloo, which has very high nutrients, very high iron, very high magnesium and potassium and calcium, and all the vitamin C and all the other vitamins, and just very, very nutritious. So all summer I was growing them. But then I noticed that they don't look so green and vibrant as they did before. See? The leaves are turning yellow and they're kind of just drying up. Season. This is my pear tree, and the leaves, there were many leaves on it and young pears. We've reaped pears from the tree. Now look at it. It's drying up. Season. During the summer, I had probably hundreds of cucumber. These cucumber vines gave me many cucumber. The entire summer I did not have to buy any cucumber, and I planted 1 pack of cucumber seeds, and I got cucumber all season. But look, they're drying up. I would say in another week or so I won't get any more cucumbers from these vines. And so the seasons of life. The seasons of life teach us a lot about life and living, and how there has to be seasons in life. These are my beautiful, it's a kind of thyme. I don't remember the name of it. This also is a kind of thyme. It's called the Junior Walker Nepada. See? Junior Walker Nepada. So it's a herb. It's delicious in salads, and I also cook with it. And it has a beautiful flower. This won't be here in another month. The rosemary, however, is very hardy, and I've noticed that they withstand the winter. But even this is not as green and vibrant as it was during the spring and the summer. The seasons of life. Right over here, I'm digging and plowing and preparing the soil with some rotten wood and some rotten leaves. See how dark the soil is? It's healthy soil. I'm preparing the soil to plant what's called winter vegetables. And winter vegetables are like kale and spinach and that kind of the winter vegetables. Those I'm going to be planting, and they will I can reap those in December, January. So that's life. Life is about all kinds of different seasons. There are times in my living situation when things are going to be nice and bright and blooming and green, as it were, symbolically speaking. And that's my spring and my summer. But then there's going to come a season when I don't feel so good and things aren't going exactly the way I want them to go, and I just have to ride out the season, knowing that this too will pass. So these are my old callaloo. I'm plowing this soil. These callaloo are all dried up, so I'm gonna chop them up and mix some of the soil to make mulch, because I don't use fertilizer in my garden. Fertilizer is very bad for you, poisonous in fact. And most of the foods we eat in the supermarkets have fertilizer, but I don't put fertilizer on my plants. They might not come out as big as the supermarket vegetables like my tomatoes, but they're healthier. They don't have the chemicals in them. I use rotten leaves and rotten wood as mulch, or as they say, compost for my garden. So I know I'm eating healthier. So life has seasons. The plants have seasons. We have seasons. The Bible speaks about everything has a season. A season to be born, and a season when we will live. We will grow from birth to whenever, as they say, from the womb to the tomb, and that period in between, and then we get old, and then we pass away. Okay, and we just have to accept that that's life. And for me, I accept it. And I try not to worry myself. I accept the fact that I'm not here on this earth forever, that I too have seasons. And just like the plants, I planted the seeds, they grew, I ate spinach, and now they're transforming themselves, getting ready to pass away. And then these very seeds will come back again next year. Brand new, fresh callaloo. Okay, so learn from life. We can learn a lot, and it will help us to decrease our stress level when we accept the fact that our lives, the lives of the plants, the lives of the animals have seasons. Just go with the season. I have no control over when and how spring is going to be. Summer is going to be. Fall is going to be. Winter is going to be. I have no control over that. Okay? God does. And the same thing with my life. I have some control, but I don't have all control with the way my life seasons are going to be. I do the best I can to make my seasons as pleasant as I can, but I don't have total control over it. Okay, so enjoy the seasons of life. Just recently I noticed that it feels cooler. So it tells me that fall is coming and then winter. But then when winter comes, I keep myself warm, do the best I can to not catch a cold, and just do the best I can with the cold season. Heater, warm clothes, etc., and look forward to spring coming. And that's how it is. It should be in our life season also. In the winters of our lives, when things are rough and cold and dreary and it feels like there's no end to it, just hang in there, keep yourself warm as it were, and do the best you can to survive the winter and not get too depressed and down. Just know that after the winter comes spring. Just wanted to share that with you. Everything has a season in life. So since we don't have any control over the seasons, do the best we can. Do the best we can and just wait for spring and summer, because they will come. And you know, with autumn or fall and winter, there's some good to it, because the thing is that many plants don't do well in the heat. They are winter plants, like I told you about the kale. They're winter vegetables. They don't do well in the spring. So it's the same thing with our lives. We need winter and we need fall. It's just the way the good Lord made us to be. Some people have rougher winters and rougher falls and rougher spring and rougher summer. Of course, if you live in Florida, your summer is going to be hotter, definitely hotter than other parts of the world. If you live in Canada and places like that, your winter is going to be colder than Florida. So some of us and some places have rougher seasons in life, but we just have to do the best we can to thrive and survive during those seasons. Okay? Till we meet again, God bless you and take care.